So basically we are continuing with the quantitative method. We are beginning with a new lecture on budget lines. When we talk about budget lines, you'll be given various commodities with their respective prices. Let's say commodities. Basically, that's all we can say our budget line. You'll be given various commodities with their respective prices. Let's say the commodities being given now, we have coffee, we have yam. The price for coffee is 20 cedis, yam is 10 cedis. The total budget given for these commodities are 150 Ghana cedis. You might be asked to calculate for the budget line for this given information. So the budget line for this given information therefore becomes is equal to price of X, commodity X, plus price of Y, commodity Y. This actually becomes the formula for the budget line. Someone might ask you that, or someone might throw up a question that, where did you get the X and where did you get the Y? We represented each commodity, which is the coffee, by an X, and also represented a yam by a Y. So we represent them as the B stands for budget. The B is called budget. This is price of X. Price of X. This becomes price of commodity. Commodity X. Price of Y. Price of commodity Y. So immediately you're able to get to this point, you know that this definitely becomes your budget line. The B represents budget. The P with a subscript X represents price of commodity X. And the X itself is the commodity itself. Same applies to this side. So let's take a question and let's try. So this is the first question of our budget line I'm going to read. Let's take a look at the question. Example 1. An electrical company has a budget of 6,000 euros a week to spend on the manufacture of toasters and kettles. It costs 5 euros to manufacture a toaster and 12 euros to manufacture a kettle. Write down the equation of the budget line and sketch its graph. So let's do it. So basically, when you study the question very well from the beginning, it said an electrical company has a budget of 6,000 euros. So meaning that the 6,000 euros becomes your budget line. Sorry, the budget. So budget. Then the commodities given in the question, the commodities that were given in the question are toasters and kettles. So we represent the commodities by commodities. We have toasters. So represented by an alphabet T. We move on to the kettle. An alphabet K. Very good. So basically, from this side, we have now budget to 6,000 euros. And also the commodities that we identified in the questions were kettles and was toasters. So these are the commodities being given in the question. An electrical company has a budget of 6,000 euros a week to spend on the manufacture of toasters and kettles. So up to this point, you can get a budget line from this question. So we now have our budget line to be 6,000 euros. Our commodities to be what? Toasters and kettles. Toasters is represented by the alphabet T. Kettles also by an alphabet K. So from this, you can get our budget line to be G is equal to price of toasters and the commodity itself, which is the T, plus the same price of what? Kettle. The commodity itself, which is the K, idle. So the D basically stands for the budget. This stands for the price of the kettle. So price of the toasters. The T is the toasters itself. The toasters. This also becomes the price of the kettle. This becomes the kettle itself. So kettle. There you go. So definitely, these are the budgets line we got from the question being given. So let's substitute the values into the budget line to get the budget line itself. We have budget line. Is equal to our budget was 6,000 euros. 6,000. Price of T given in the question was, it said it cost 5 euros to manufacture a toaster and 12 euros to manufacture a kettle, idle. So meaning that the number representing the toasters is what? 5. And the number also representing the kettles is what? 12, idle. So price of toaster is what? 5. So 5. T. The reason why we still got the T is the T stands for the toasters itself, but the PT is representing what? The price of toaster. That's the main reason why you place the 5, which is standing for the toaster in place of the PT. I do. So let's move on. So price of kettle was what? 12. 12. To bring back the kettle itself. So this now the budget line you get from this question. So this becomes your budget line. I go. So take it to 6,000. So from this side, you can identify that based on what you've done so far. This is the budget line that you got. But from the question, you are saying that write down the equation of the budget line and also sketch its graph. So write down the equation of the budget line. This is it. This is the budget line you were asked in the question. And you're also saying that sketch its graph. But we know that before you calculate for a graph, or before you sketch a graph, you will need what? Values, which will help you to be able to sketch the graph or put out the graph. But we aren't giving values here. So how we are going to go about to get the values is that if you want to find for T, which is the toasted, we represent the K, which is the kettle, by 0, so that you're able to get the toasted. If you also want to get the toast, if you also want to get a kettle, you represent the toasted also by what? 0, so that you're able to get the K. So let's start. So the kettle gets, let's say 6,000 is equal to 5T plus 12K. We want to get the kettle, which is what? The K. So where the T, which is the toasters, is equal to 0. So 6,000 is equal to 5. T, so 0 plus the 12K. Then this becomes now, it still becomes 0, so you still maintain the 6,000 equals 12K. So we divide both sides, sorry, we rewrite it back. 6,000 equals to 12k. Divide both sides by the coefficient of k, which is 12. So 6,000 divided by 12. 6,000 divided by 12. We are getting 500. K 500. So now your kettle is what? 500, right? So how you will be able to represent this on the graph is that you represented what? The two steps by 0, and also the k you have 500, so you get 0 and 500. Right? So basically, this is how you go about when you want to get a kettle. So if you also want to get a toaster, what then do? You represent what? The k by 0. You also get a t. So let's do that in this. So toasters. So get 6,000 equals to 5. We are looking for k, which is the kettle. So represent the t by what? Okay. We are now calculating for the two steps. So you have 6,000 equals to 5t plus 12k. We are looking for the t. So represent the k by what? A 0. So 5t plus 12 into bracket 0. So you get 6,000 equals 5t. This then is going to give you a 0, so you wouldn't bring it. So 5t is equal to 6,000. So divide both sides by the coefficient of t, which is the 5. You are going to get 6,000 divided by 5. You get those steps to be 1,200. So to be able to bring this on the graph, we have k to be where k is 0. Those steps was 1,200, so 0 and 1,200. So basically, these are the variables you are going to get for the kettle and the toasters. We have kettle to be 500 and also toasters towards 1,200. So you are now going to put this on the graph based on the question that was asked here. Write down the equation of the budget line and sketch its graph. Now you are adding the equation to this. 6,000 equals 5t plus 12k, which is the budget line. You are now supposed to put this on the graph to be able to complete this question. Now let's put it on the graph. Yeah, based on the question, we are to get the budget line for the question, which was 6,000 equals to 5t plus 12k. This definitely becomes your budget line from the question that was given. And you were like, after you getting the budget line, plot this on the graph. Before you're able to plot it on the graph, you need to solve for the kettle and also the toasters. So you now transfer this onto the graph. Someone might ask you that, okay, so how are you going to plot this on the graph? The highest number you get here becomes your y-axis. Your lowest number takes your x-axis. So since the highest number is going to take the y-axis, the lowest number is going to be the x-axis. The highest number here is 1,200. So then the 1,200 becomes the y-axis. So the y-axis is 1,200. Since that is the highest number, 1,200. So you can just represent the variable, which is what? A t. So then t. Then the lowest is what? 500, which is represented by a kettle. So after you've gotten to this side, or after you've gotten them on the graph, you just join it to where the 500 goes. That's all for the question you just solved. That's all. So let's take a different question and let's see how we are going to go about it as well. So actually we are beginning with the example 2. Still on budget line. A person has 120 euros to spend on two goods, which is X and a Y, whose respective prices are 3 euros and 5 euros. Draw a budget line showing all the different combination of two goods that can be bought with a given budget. I. What happens to the original budget line? if the budget falls by 25%? II, what happens to the original budget line if the price of X doubles? The third question, what happens to the original budget line if the price of Y falls to 4 euros? Draw the budget lines in each case. So we are going to solve this question. Let's do. Okay. So let's a person has 120 euros. I go. The person having this amount of money definitely becomes the budget of that person. So the budget in this question is what? 120 euros. So budget. It's represented by a B. So B. 120. So let's move. 120 to spend on two goods, X and Y, whose respective prices are 3 euros and 5 euros. So the commodities identified in this question is what? X. And X and the Y. So commodities. Commodity. Why? So the commodities identified in the question is the commodities identified in the question were goods X and goods Y. And we are saying that this X and Y, their respective prices are 3 euros and 5 euros. And all we can say is that when we talk about something being respective, it's going to take the various digits that are represented. So we have X and Y. X to be first, Y to be second. And the respective prices are 3 euros and 5 euros. So we know that definitely the X is going to pay the 3 euros. The Y is also going to pay the 5 euros. Is X. So far, what we've gotten so far, we can get the budget line from this. We know the budget line formula is which represents or stands for the budget. Price of X, commodity X. Price of Y, commodity Y. Budget is 120. Price of X, given in the question is 3 euros, so 3. X plus price of Y, given the question was 5 euros, so 5 Y. This becomes your budget line for the question. So budget line. So let's move on with the question. Draw a budget line showing all the different combination of two goods that can be bought within a given budget. So based on what we've done so far, this is the budget line you are getting from the question. So your budget line becomes 120 is equal to 3x plus 5y. Let's begin with the questions beneath it, which is the I, the II, and the II. So you are beginning with, okay, before you begin with the I, you can do something about this. So 120 is equal to 3x plus 5y. We would need to plot this on a graph. But we know that before you're able to plot something on a graph, you will need values. Before you're able to get your values, you need to represent this. We know there's the budget line. How will you be able to get the value for an x? You're able to get the value for an x when you make its opposite, which is the y, a 0, then you get the x. If you also want to get a y, you make the x 0, then you also get a y. So let's begin. Commodity. We are looking for commodity. X. Commodity x. So 120. 3x plus 5y. Where y is equal to 0. We are representing y is equal to 0 because we are looking for the commodity x, right? If you want to find the x, you make y 0. If you want to find for y, you make the other side, which is the x, also 0. So where y is 0, so you have 120 equals to 3x. 5. Y is 0, so 0. 120. This definitely becomes a 0 or now. So you still write the 3x. So 120 divided by 3. I'm going to get 40. So, 120. So with the community x, you are getting 40. Before you be able to plot this on the graph, you will need what? Where y is equal to 0 and also the x being 40. So finally, based on this, which is the community x, you are getting 0, 40. Now if what's in community x, you also need to find for what? Community y. So community y. Let's rewrite the budget line. 120 is equal to 3x plus 5y. We are looking for the commodity y. So then we are going to represent the x by 0. So where x is 0. So 120 is equal to 3. X is 0 plus 5y. 120. This will definitely give us a 0 well now. So it wouldn't be necessary for you to bring it back. So just put the 5y there. We divide both sides by the coefficient of y to get the commodity y. So 5. Let's use the values. We are getting y to 24. So definitely, if you are also going to plot this on the graph, you need this 0, y to 24, so 24. This becomes the answers based on the budget line equal, which is 120 is equals the 3x plus the 5y. So we are now about to proceed with the question being given beneath it, which is the I, the II, and the II. So let's start with the I. The question was, what happens to the original budget line if the budget falls by 25%? So, original budget falls by 25%. So the idea, like, what happens to the original budget line if the budget falls by 25%? You know the original budget given in the question was what? 120. I agree. The budget itself is 120. And you are saying that what happens to this budget, which is the 120, if it falls by 25%? If you want to know how this original budget is going to fall by the 25%, it becomes the budget line itself is the 120. Original budget falls by 25%. What happens to the original budget line if the budget falls by 25%? If you want to know how the original budget falls by 25%, take original budget. You know the original budget is what? 120. I agree. And you are seeing that the original budget, which is the 120, is falling by 25%. So to be able to get it, it's 25 divided by 100. Since it's percentages, you divide 25 by 100, then the budget line being given, which is 120. I go. So let's do this. 25 divided by 100 times 120. We are getting 30. So 25%, which is the 25% you are seeing that. What happens to the original budget line if the budget falls by 25%? You're able to get it, it's 25. Since it's in percentages, it becomes 25 divided by 100 times the budget line. So this is the 120. You are going to get 30. By the 30 you are going to get, it doesn't mean that since it's reducing or since it's falling by 25%, definitely the 30 here is going to become your new budget line. No, it's not so. To be able to get the budget line itself, after you've gotten the 30 due to the forward to the 25%, you now need to subtract the 30 from the budget line itself to get a new budget as a result of the fall of the 25%. So it becomes the budget line, which the budget itself is 120, so 120 minus the 30 here. Then 120 minus 30. You are getting 90. So definitely this becomes your new or your original budget as a result of your forex to the 25%. You are going to get what? 90. So to be able to get the new budget line for this question is going to be, we know now our new budget is what? 90. So you're not going to still maintain the 120. It's now going to 90 equals 3x plus 5y. So this becomes our new budget line for the I. Because they were like, what happens to the original budget line? If the budget falls by 25%. So to be able to get the 25 divided by 100, we multiply by the budget itself, which is 120. We divided by 100 for 18% bigger, and we have 30. But the 30 we have doesn't mean that the 30 is going to represent the new or the original budget. To be able to get the original budget, you are supposed to subtract the 30 from the 120 to get the original budget itself. So we have 90. So the 90 is equal to the 3x plus 5y. So it becomes the new budget line. New budget line for the I. New budget line. For question I. So let's continue. I'm claiming this. So the I, it was the original budget falls by 25%. We had a new budget line to what? 90 is equal to 3x plus 5y. So 90 3x plus 5y. We also need to find for the coordinates or the points for x and y. So let's be able to plot them or bring them on the graph or sketch it either. So to be able to get the x, we also represent what? The y by what? 0. If we also want to get the y, we represent what? Its opposite, which is the x, also by what? A 0. Commodity. Then it's x. 90 is equal to 3x plus 5y. Where we are looking for what? Commodity x. So we are going to make the y what? 0. So where y is 0, you get 90 is equal to 3x plus 5. Y is 0. So this. So 90 is equal to 3x. This is definitely going to give you a 0, so you only need to bring it again. So 90 is equal to 3x. So you divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 3. So 3 here, 3 here. Definitely, x will give you what? 30. Let me confirm first. Yeah, definitely you are going to get a 30. So to be able to plot this or to sketch this on the graph, you are going to get what? Y, which is 0, x, which is what? 30, I do. You are going to get it to be 0, 30. So now you've gotten what our commodity x. You also need what? Commodity y. So commodity y. So let's rewrite the budget line. 90 is equal to 3x plus 5y. You are looking for what? Commodity y. So we need to represent its opposite, which is the x, by 0 to get a y. So where y is 0. Sorry, where x is 0, because you are looking for commodity y. So where x is 0. So 90 is equal to 3. X is what? 0. So 0 plus 5y. So 90 is equal to, this everything becomes 0, so we didn't bring it, so 5y. Divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is what? 5. So 90, so 5. I'm going to get it. It's 18. So 5 comes here 1, goes here 8. So y is equal to 18. So to be able to also plot this on a graph, we are going to get what? Where x is 0, y is what? 80. So you are going to get 0 to 80. So basically with the first one, which is the I, we are going to get this. I do. So we are now moving on to the next part, which is the II. If you pause. So we are already done with the I. So we are moving on with the II. The question was, what happens to the original budget line if the price of X doubles? So the key word here is doubles. The budget line itself was D is equal to price of X into X plus price of Y into Y. We had budget 120. 3x plus. This was the original budget itself, based on the question. These are what we have. I do. Someone might ask that, okay, why are we now using this for the II? The reason we are using this for the II, they are still referring to the original budget. But with the I, we said the original budget was falling by what, 25%. So definitely, the budget line changed. But with the II, you were like, so what happens to the original budget line if the price of X doubles? So you are still going to maintain what? The original budget, which is 120 is equal to 3x plus 5y. But with the II, you are saying that what happens to the original budget line if the price of X doubles? The price of X, which is this. If the price of this doubles, what is it going to be? So since they are saying that the price of X is going to double, you know that it's going to be definitely 6x. Doubles means that particular number twice of it, which is meaning 3 squared. Sorry. If you are saying it doubles, meaning that particular number twice of it, so 3 plus 3, it is going to give you what? A 6. I agree. So the new budget line for the equation 2 is going to be 120 is equal to 6x plus 5y. This becomes the new budget line for the II based on what they said that x is going to double. If x is going to double, meaning that the previous one, which was the 3x, is going to double. If this is going to double, meaning that 3 itself is going to be 6. I do. 3 plus 3 are going to get what? 6. So the x side is going to change to 6, but not 3, due to the doubles that appear here. But this becomes our new budget line for the II. So you also need to find for the x and y for this side also. So commute x. Where you're looking for common x, so we make what the opposite, which is the y what 0. So where y is equal to 0, you have 120 is equal to 6x plus 5. Y is what 0, so 0. You get 120 is equal to 6x. This definitely becomes now, so you wouldn't bring it. So 120 is equal to 6x. Divide both sides by the coefficient of x. So 120 divided by 6, so I get 2. So I get 20. X to be 20. Definitely, this is also going to give you the coordinates 0 and what? 20. So 0, 20. So you are now also going to find for what? The commodity y also. So commodity y. is equal to 6x plus 5y. You want to find y, so you also make what? X 0. So where x is 0, so we have 120 is equal to 6. We have x to be 0, so 6 plus 5y. So 120 is equal to, this definitely is 0, so you wouldn't bring it. So 5y, is equal to 120. So divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is 5. So 5. Getting y is equal to by getting 24. So y is 24. So to be able to identify these coordinates as well for the community y, are going to get what? Where x is 0, y is what? 24. So you are getting 0, 24. So basically this is all about the question I. We were like, if x doubles, already you knew this was the original budget. And you are saying, say, the side for x doubles, and the side for x was 3. So if you are saying, say, the 3 is going to double, meaning that 3 plus 3, which is going to give you what? A 6. So then the x side is going to change, which is going to give you the original budget for the I. Are you good? Okay, so let's move on to the third question. So with the third question, you're like, what happens to the original budget line if the price of y falls to 4 euros? Are you good? So the original budget line was what? So the formula is the price of x equals x plus price of y equals y. This is the original budget itself from the question. Budget was 120, price of x was 3, price of y was 5. So we have 120 is equals to 3x plus 5y. But based on the third question, we were like, if the original budget line, what happens to the original budget line if the price of y falls to 4 euros? Since you know this is the original budget line, and you are seeing that the price of y is now going to what? 4 to 4 euros, meaning that it's no more going to what? 5, but it's now going to what? 4. So we have here is 4. First, someone might ask you that why is that the original budget itself we know we had for the question was 120 is equal to 3x plus 5y. You know this is the original budget line itself for the question. But since you started like calculating or maybe moving on, it started changing. The reason why it started changing was that it was based on the question that we were given. This one they were using falls by 25%. They were using doubles for the second question. The third one they were using falls to 4 euros. Since you are seeing that the price of y is going to fall to the 4 euros, meaning that the 5y here, which is for the original budget, is now going to change to what? 4, because it said it's going to fall to what? 4. So this becomes our new budget line for the third question. So in this one, we're also going to find for what? The community X and community Y. So community X. If you want to find for the community X, you make what? Y the subject, you're able to get what? The X. So where Y is what? 0. So you get 120 is equal to 3x plus 4 into bracket 0. You get 120 is equal to 3x. This is going to give you 0, so you only need to bring it in. So 3x. Divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 3. So 3. It cancels out. 120 divided by 3. You are getting 40. So x is 40. So the coordinates for the commodity x is going to be what? 0 and what? 40. So 0 and 40. So we also need to find for what the commodity y as well. So the commodity y. Let's rewrite the new budget line, which is all that. So 120 is equal to 3x plus 4y. We are going to find for what commodity y. So we also need to make what x 0. So where x is 0. bracket 0 plus 4y. 120. This is definitely going to give us a 0, so you wouldn't need to bring it. So 120 is equal to 4y. Divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is what? 4. I get 30. So y is equal to 30. So based on the commodity y, the coordinates you are going to get is what? 0, 8, 0, 8. So basically, that is what you are going to get for the third question. What happens to the original budget line if the price of y falls to 4 euros? And we already know that based on the original budget, which was 120 is equals to 3x plus 5y. The original budget was 120 is equal to 3x plus 5y. But based on the third question, we are seeing that the price of y is going to fall by 4. So since the price of y, which is the 5, is going to fall by the 4, you are no more going to use the 5 in your calculation. You are going to use what? 4. That's why there's 4 here. Very good. So basically, this is what you are going to get for the third question. So we are now done with the calculations. We are now going to plot this or sketch this on the graph. Then we say bye to this question. So now we are done with the I, and the I. We are now going to sketch them on the graph. But based on this question, we're given what? X and Y. And you should know that based on what we've learned so far about graphs, you know that this side is the what? Y axis, is the vertical side. And the X axis becomes the what? Horizontal side. So this basically becomes the Y. This becomes the X. Based on what we saw for the original budget itself, we had x 0, y is equal to 24, y is also equal to 0, and x is equal to 40. We had our x to be 24. We also had our y. We have our x to be 40, we had our y to 24. So meaning that on the y axis side, we are going to put what the 24. So let's see, 24. And on the x axis side, we are going to put 40. And then join them together. This becomes the first one for the original budget question itself. Are you good? So we are now proceeding to the, or moving on with the first one, which is the I. The I, we have y to be 18 and x to be what? 30. This becomes the origin. We always represent the origin by what? 0. The I, we have y to be 18 and x to be 30. So y 18. This is the y axis. This is 18 and it's less than 24. It's definitely going to come beneath it. So y 18, let's say it's on this side. 18. And x to be what? 30. This is the x axis. 30. So it comes to this side. 30 is also what? Less than 40. So it comes to the left hand side. So also join it. So with the I, we are also done plotting it on the, or sketching it on the graph. We are moving on to the IR. The IR, we have our x to be 20 and y to 24. So where x is 20, there is the x axis. X is 20. So let's see the 20 is here. The 20 is also going to come what? To the left hand side, but it's less than 30. So this is the 20. Our y is what? 24. Y 24. We are moving on with the third one also. What happens to the original budget line if the price of y falls to 4 euros? We have the third one, x to be 40, y to be 30. So where x is 40, which is this, the same thing. Where x is 40, y is what? 30. 30 is greater than 24. So with this one, it's not going to come beneath it, but it's going to go to the other fifth one. So with the third one, plus what happens to the original budget line if the price of y falls to 4 euros? We have x to be 40 and y to be 30. We know this side is what? Our x axis, and this side to be our y axis. So with the x, we have what? 40. We have y to what? 30. So 40 on the x axis, 30 on the y axis. So you join the 30, the 40. So this becomes the graph you were supposed to do based on this question. This is all you're trying to ask you about. What happens to the original budget line if the budget falls by 25%? We've already solved for that. With the what happens to the original budget line if the